Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of Gridiron Weekly. Last week we were one, this week we are two. Maybe next week we'll be three. We don't know. We just don't know. But I'm coming to you live from
Yeah,
Topsail Island, North Carolina. A little bit of spring break action
beautiful.
here, and we're going to talk a little football today. Me and my buddy who can't miss the three-pointer, he just can't miss him. He drains him. He'll pound him. He'll do whatever he needs to do to get that ball in the net because he is the pounder. That is my man, John.
Yeah,
John, how are you tonight?
I'm all right. I'm not down in beautiful North Carolina, but it's 60 degrees here today.
Yeah,
A lot of rain, some
yeah.
rain, wind, whatever. But you'll be back in it shortly.
Yeah, I will, unfortunately, on Sunday. But
Yeah,
while I'm here, I'm going to enjoy the sunshine. So, John, last week I
definitely.
did the NFC East, AFC East, talked a little bit of college football, and really went heavy on the draft because that's really all we need to be talking about right now. I know a lot of people had draft days, and I listened to way too much radio than I probably should have, and I've seen many different reactions to the personal draft days. Seattle Seahawks don't go to any, which I didn't know that. They don't go to any of the draft
I
days.
didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Oh,
So I started off with that, with talking about the draft days. I'm not sure what you get out of them because they're scripted, and we talked about it on the show. I don't think they're worth as much as they are. Maybe to that guy who's catching a ball they don't know particularly that well, and he shot out. Go ahead.
I remember when the Bears were with Caleb Williams. I remember the big deal was them getting to go there and meet with his father. Was the most important thing. That was like the most important thing, was going to talk to that guy and to make sure he was happy and all this other crap. I just remember that whole deal. They had to meet Caleb's father. The most important thing to do, because I got to imagine that's what all of it is, Ed. It's got to be a lot of just personal stuff like that.
I think there's the most important. I mean, because the mechanics are on tape. The eye in the sky doesn't lie, as they say. So they have, hours upon hours of tape on these guys. So it's got to be like, exactly what you're saying. You meet with a sibling. You meet with somebody who's in the tight circle of these elite athletes, and they had something negative to say. So I think for Chicago, that was a brilliant move, to wine and dine not only the player, but to have the player bring his father, because he had some objections to him going to Chicago. And unfortunately, he was correct in the first year, but in the second year, no, sir. He has to be one of the happiest guys because he's got a pro coach now,
Right.
And he's the guy who's a quarterback whisperer. So he's got to be happier than anything, I would think. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I understand, and everything he said was right. The father, about all of it, every word he said about the Bears was correct. And yeah, they finally made the right hire. But either way, that first year with Eberflus would have scared me too, and would have made me think get the hell out of here. But no, they're to be happy. The only thing I remember was I don't know if you remember the whole thing about trying to get, he wanted a part of the team or something. He wanted to be part owner. All that, so no.
Which has never happened before. And I'm glad Chicago just said, yeah, okay, all right, sure. Yeah.
Right.
And they just ended up drafting it anyway. Which, come on. Are those things going to be in the future? They may, but they're not to that point yet. So they do have the NFL owners meeting going on right now in Arizona, and they're having this tiff with the referees. I have to ask you this question because I almost pulled the car over while I was driving yesterday to Virginia. Almost pulled the car over. I couldn't believe it. The average salary of the part-time NFL referee is what?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Hazard a guess. Throw me a number.
All right. A part-time official.
That's 18 weeks.
Yeah, what could it be? All the travel, everything else he's going to do.
You reimburse for all that, by the way. You get a stipend and reimburse for all the travel.
I got to figure it's going to be a terrible guess. I'm going to say 100 grand, 200.
$350,000.
Whoa.
$350,000. And they want more money, right?
Wow. I was expecting about 100. That was my real thought.
I'm with you. I would say 100, 150, plus expenses, because they're technically part-time jobs. But I heard that number and I'm like, I'm not necessarily on the inner side, but give me a friggin' break, man. How much money do you need? Some of the guys are principals. Some of the guys are lawyers. Give me a break. If you pass the background check, that's more than enough money to live on.
Well, certainly they have to be doing fine. There's no way somebody who's, making under 50,000 is going to be going to be a ref, in the NFL. You got to have money to be that position. It's my opinion. You'd have to have money to be an NFL referee, to be able to take the time, do everything you're doing. So yeah, 350,000. Wow.
I know it's outrageous. And there is fault on both sides. mean, that's a whole lot of money, right? And if I were the NFL, I would say, look, this is a really nice salary, right? If you can't maintain both jobs, you're going to have to pick one, and I don't think that's unreasonable. Now,
Right.
if I were the NFL and I said that, I'd say, all right, pick one, but we're also going to bump you up. Whatever, we'll make them $500,000. If each organization gave a small bit of money, make the referees full time, give them $500,000, which is ridiculous and stupid. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah, make them full time. You give them 500,000, and I can't imagine. I can't imagine that would be. I don't know what they would think about that. They'd say no. They'd be angry. They'd want $1 million. I imagine they'd want $1 million.
But they don't contribute to the game like they think they do. The owners put up the money, and the ultimate stars are the players, right? They're the ones that are the entertainers. But the entertainers don't exist without the owners. The entertainers and the owners exist without the referees. I hate to tell them that. I mean, they really do. We're in the day and age of technology, and I don't know if you saw on Sunday, but I was reading one of the referees had eight challenges, and they were all upheld. So technology is here. It's not difficult to do. Right? They do it in soccer with the VAR, video assistant referee. They do it in baseball with the ABS. Guess what? They do it in basketball certain times. Technology is where it's at, right?
Yeah, baseball looks great too. I'm enjoying baseball. It's been really good, and I've also seen that some umpires that I didn't realize they're pretty good too. I mean, some of them they're right, and some of them are missing by a tenth of an inch. It's crazy. I mean, that's
right. But we're talking about what's his name? The guy that was been doing it for years horribly. The famous, I forget his name, but anyway, I mean, it's in there for that. But I agree with you. So they're probably, I think they're in the mid to high 90s.
Yeah,
getting the pitch right. But I like it because it's so ridiculous to watch a catcher frame a pitch. Just to go off on a tangent, I can't stand that. That's like a wide receiver framing two steps, 2 feet in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's absurd. But anyway, so the NFL's they're going over that a lot, and I just think the referees it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous because the league exists without them. You need the entertainers, you need the money. You don't need the referee because there's too many.
No, and these aren't guys they're not 25-year-olds, right? They're not starting. They're not like they're guys that have they're making. I'd love to know that. I want to know what they're doing, but they're making a good living, and they just decide to do this because they want to, because they can. Whatever, they've been doing it in high school, wherever they've done it.
Right, they put time in. Still, that's an outrageous amount of money,
and they can't. Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Like if you look to other sports around the world, the biggest comparison to football is rugby. Right, rugby has very stringent rules for their referees. Every referee must run a 4.640. Period.
Wow.
There's no.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and they have to be. They get tested every year. Every year if they don't pass the test, you're not going to be on the pitch. That's the way they treat it. They have because they realize they're dealing with elite athletes, and if you can't keep up with elite, how many times do you see? The pass starts and it's like the Fred Flintstone. The referee's like trying to, because he's 55 years old or whatever.
Yeah, and he's overweight, and he's actually, as you can see, he's overweight. He's not, right. Yeah. He's a terrible
pedal the legs to try to get ready to go. I don't think the referees have a great. I don't think they have a great platform to stand on. I just don't. To me, it looks extremely greedy because there's people out there. I mean, look at I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't make anywhere near that money, and I work my ass off. So do you. There's hardworking people out there that these guys get to go play, be part of a game, the biggest game in our country. And it's just, the replacement refs aren't going to work because they put all these rules on that New York's going to do. They're going to send staffs to games. That means, 10, 12 eyes looking on a game. But I think that's where I think the NFL is wrong because once they open that box, how the hell are you going to close that box?
Right.
When the regular decide to come back, right?
Right. Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, because that's the whole thing, right? They wanted to do what? What did I read? Anything that's clear and obvious, right? They're going to be able to change.
That happens anyway with the regular referees.
It should. Yeah. What are they trying? Yeah, that's a great point. Like, what are you trying to say? That doesn't happen. That's supposed to. That's what would happen. I hope.
Well, I mean, we've seen the games. They just don't correct those clear and obvious errors. I mean, we see it especially on players who have name. Go ahead.
They might be the worst, and this is the other thing. I'm thinking of the 4 majors here in the U.S. And I think hockey and NBA is probably they're the most physically fit guys.
Oh,
but they have to run. They do all that.
Soccer.
Yeah, soccer. Yes. I don't know if the NFL might be the worst. Thinking about it, like they might be the worst of the bunch.
Well, they're on.
Yeah, but I mean, and you know what? every time I watch and I bitch about the refs, I always think to myself, this has to be because I'm their age. We're their age. Me and you are probably their age.
Yeah.
And things have slowed. I'm different. I can't. I'm not shooting the threes like you were saying, like I was doing in 1987. But I mean, I also couldn't imagine being there. I just don't think I could get out of the way. Like
the climate. You have to factor in the climate as well.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they're nuts. They're absolutely nuts.
And the fact of the matter is, I think that it's a losing proposal. I think for both of them, because if the NFL comes and does all these interventions using the eye in the sky, and then they're going to try to sell to everybody in the world that the regular referees, their percentage is like close to 100, which it's not. It's just impossible. Players are faster, bigger, and the referees are not faster. They're not bigger. They just get older. They need an entire crop of young men. And I'm sorry, international rugby does not use women in the men's game. It's just not possible. It's just not. And it has nothing to do. I understand the equality, but you just can't do it. You just can't. You have to be fit. Unless, if you're a line judge, you're not doing that much moving. But still, these field judges, these other ones that are chasing, come on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You got to get young people in shape that are going to know how to do it. And there's got to be a cap. I don't think you should work over 50. I don't
either.
Everything goes down. And you could test them. You can do reaction tests, right?
Right.
And you can see who the bad ones are. But anyway, we're going to move forward. Go ahead, John.
Okay. No, I agree. Just agreeing. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and I think once they figure that all out, we're going to be in a way better position as far as the NFL, because it's going to be just simply comical at that point. I want them to fix it. But again, that's just me wanting to do it. All right, so last week we handled the AFC East. This week we're doing the AFC North and NFC North, right? So we're just going to go with the draft, and we're going to start. So here we go. All right, our NFC, who's our first team? All right, our first North team would be – okay, the first North team I see is at 10, right? This is the AFC North. We have the Bengals, who are at 10.
At 10.
What do the Bengals do at 10? We know they're okay on offense, right? As far as weapons. If I'm the Bengals, I am going to that offensive and defensive line. What about you?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's either side, both sides. Yeah, it's either one. I'm going either way. I have to, because first of all, you lost Hendrickson. He's gone. Maybe your number one pick from last year will be ready. I don't know, because he was out for I think the entire year last year. Or I'm not even sure. But yeah, I'm definitely going. You have to. It's almost like if they do anything but that, then it's a failure. It has to be one of the two lines.
Right. We'll give them the brilliant pick of Jamar Chase because they were correct, right? That worked. They're taking him at 6, even though they needed a lineman. So I'm with you. I would not care if I was the Bengals GM, if I got the best O-line or D-line, I would not care, because I need help on both sides of the ball. I misspoke. At 6, we have the Browns. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the Browns.
The Brownies at 6. We'll do a real quick mock. We'll say, Mendoza. We'll say Bain. We'll say Bailey to Cardinals. Jeremiah Love to the Titans. Giants, they need help on the offensive line badly.
Yeah, so
they don't take a tackle. They're stupid, right?
Yeah, they have to, yeah.
So the Browns, what do you do for the Browns? Do you go defense? Do you go offense? They have limited number of wideouts and tight ends because they just got rid of them all. But what do you do for the Browns?
You probably take they probably should take. I guess they'll take Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State, maybe.
Remember, they have 2 number 1s.
Right. So you got the number. What's their other one? Their other one's like 24, I think.
It is. 24.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna. That's tough. That team could use almost anything. Well, the defense isn't bad. We know the defense is good. They got a nice, solid defense.
I'm taking your Ohio State guys. I'm taking probably Styles. I can't get over his speed.
Right. I think it's going to be an Ohio State player for sure over there, because even Caleb Downs could be
game changer.
A possibility there. But God, they're stupid. what are they going to do? If you're the Browns, I feel like wide receiver. I can see wide receiver. I already see it throughout the meet. Like I'm seeing it like when I'm reading my different draft things about how much they need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver. It's all I keep hearing. And that's a mistake. It's probably a mistake to take him there.
I think it is. I think it's a little too high. I
Mm-hmm.
really would. I mean, I can't even imagine what you would do with an absolute stud on the defensive line who's already causing havoc. Opposite that, you have a linebacker that can chase down anybody, right?
Right.
I love Caleb Downs. I just think that the more pressure you put in that top 7, the less you have to spend on the back ends of either one, because if Styles is there, I would pull the trigger for Styles, I think. And you're right. You can't go wrong with anybody from that Ohio State class right now.
I think I'm going. Yeah, no, I agree with you on Styles for sure. They should do that. Everybody here, pretty much in this top 10, even.
Right.
And I don't even throw Kansas City into it, but they should be all drafting in the lines. They should all be in the defense and offensive lines. None of them should be doing anything but that.
Because that is a luxury pick.
Yeah, that even includes Tennessee. Like everybody should be working. It should be. You just can't win without them. Look at Cincinnati. We just talked about them for a second. When I really thinking more about them, just for a second, just because I just popped in my head a little bit. I mean, not that it's groundbreaking, but if they don't try to let Burrow stay, I mean, what is the point of having him then? What is the point of having any of this if you don't have them protecting him? So
I could not agree. I could not agree more. I just can't imagine it. I mean,
but they'll do something stupid. I mean,
yeah, you're absolutely right, John. They're capable of doing that. But I think, the only reason I like Styles on the defensive side is because he's an eraser. You have an eraser in Myles Garrett. You get that eraser. They lost Devin Bush, who they created, who Jim Schwartz turned into a hell of a linebacker, got him paid again, And I just think that you pair the two of them together and you just go opposite. Like if you have Myles Garrett chasing them that way and you have a linebacker with a 4-3, I mean, you cannot teach that. You just can't do it. See, he's not the greatest tackler, but that's wrong. He's a great tackler. But he's just going to get there so quick. He's going to allow for the other, the gang to come. I think that, but I agree with you. And you look, the Bengals, I take the guard out of Penn State every single day of the week. That kid is a monster with an attitude. I mean, his name is Ione.
I can't say.
Yeah, his name is Ione. I would take him in a New York minute. And if I'm the Brownies, I'm taking Styles. I just am.
Yeah, because then at the end, at the 24th pick, as the Browns, I'm taking there's wide receivers that'll be there. There's a lot of them, So do it then. No, you're right. You might as well.
I agree with you, though. I mean, you cannot go wrong in the top 10 to do. Tennessee with Love, I understand it. He's a generational running back, and there are a few of them. I mean, we've seen them. The Saquon Barkleys of the world. Christian's still getting it done. You have what's his name in Bijan in Atlanta, who's getting it done. You have Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. I get it. They're all getting it done. I get it. But what you're saying, I 100% agree with. Titans should be going for a line. Protect your own quarterback. Get a stud lineman, and there's a bunch out there. Moaga from Miami. There's the kids from Utah. There's a lot of big boys out there. So that's what I would do. I mean, you also have the kid from Georgia. But next on the list, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Ravens. What in the world are the Ravens going to do? What are they going to be, John?
That's a weird. How about them picking at 14? And again, I think for them it's interior line. It's line. Again, it would be both lines, mostly offensive line for me. And then they do need wide receivers. I do think somewhere in here they need to get some more. I don't think Zay Flowers is he's not a number one. He hasn't been one. He doesn't look like one. He just doesn't play the role. They have no tight end either. I mean, everything's kind of a little bit.
So we talk like this, right? And we can see this with our play eye. Why in the world are they odds-on favorite to win the AFC? Because I don't think Lamar has some goofy thing in his head where he gets to those important games and he does something so ridiculously silly, and it happens all the time. He'll bat a ball in the air that he shouldn't have batted. He does something crazy. But I'm with you. They don't have a line. They have nothing. They lost their center, Linderbaum, who's an incredible center. Yeah. He's gone, right? They couldn't afford him. They lost their tight end. They lost their punter. These are positions that, it's three parts of the game. Now you've lost your best tight end. Andrews is good, but likely was on the ascendancy. Still is. Linderbaum is one of the best centers in the league. Your punter was just as good, right? So
Right.
they're hurting. I don't see what the people who are betting see. Do you?
No, I not at all. I don't understand it. It's the same goes for the Chiefs. I get that same feeling, but mostly with Baltimore, even more with Baltimore. I agree with you. I don't know what they're seeing because you just mentioned all of that. And I don't know how that equals. It's there's something about Lamar with certain people. I don't know what it is. I can't explain
all
it.
of Vegas. All of Vegas has
Yeah.
set the odds.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, because honestly, it's probably Buffalo. It'd probably be them, and it would be my favorite to win the AFC this year.
Yeah.
If I were to be.
So I mean, if Buffalo goes out and because there's tons of defensive ends out there in their 30s, some are in their early 30s, some are in their mid 30s.
Right.
There's tons of them out there that after the draft are not going to cost anything but the minimum, the veteran minimum. So there's a lot out there. I have Buffalo. I would have them odds on favorite, but it's not. It's the Ravens, the Bills, and somebody else.
I don't even know who the hell. Yeah, Broncos. The Ravens, though, they're in such a look at. I honestly, if they make the wrong decisions, I could see them possibly not. I mean, I could see them winning only 9 or 10 games again.
I could see them second or third.
Easily,
If the Bengals play it right and they have a good draft, I think the Bengals are the people to beat.
If they could just do the right thing ever, you would think.
Yeah.
It would just be dumb luck, maybe just anything to help. I mean, but I don't know what they'll do. If they drafted a wide receiver, the Bengals, it wouldn't shock me in the least. I mean, that's how dumb it is there.
Yeah, I know. There's no way.
Take a tight end or something crazy. I just don't. I mean, I love that tight end, but I'm not doing that.
No, God, if they take Sadiq, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, if they need that kid from Penn State. I mean, he's a beast. And it's going to help up the middle, which is the pressure that the quarterbacks hate. I mean, they are insane if they don't take because it looks like I've looked at probably just as many as you. Mwaga's probably going to go higher, which leaves them the pick of the litter at 10 because the other teams aren't drafting linemen. I mean, although Kansas City probably should, Saints probably should because they lost they lost on the defensive line. But if he's there from Penn State, I run as fast as I can and I dodge all the rain and all the crap in Pittsburgh to get to that stage. Because it makes sense. All right, the last team in that division is the Steelers, the city that I reside, but I did not grow up in. John had some time in Pittsburgh as well, so maybe he's moving back. And then it'll be on. We'll be live somewhere.
Yeah, live together.
So the Steelers, they sit at 21. The Steelers have not figured out their offensive line whatsoever. Their defensive line is aging. I mean, who knows if the kid from last year, Harmon's going to be good. He spent 7 or 8 weeks on the bench. We've always heard that your number one, ability is your availability, and he didn't have it last year. So I go back and forth on them. I think it's too high to take that second quarterback because they already made that mistake once with Kenny Pickett. They took him first, years ago, even though New Orleans traded up to get him. If I'm them, I'm looking what's left, according to this mock draft.
Okay.
I'm looking at probably a wideout, or if say I've got some of the linemen still on the board, I'll go for the linemen. What about you?
I'm going for the linemen too, and I again because they're just I don't understand it. You're there, you live there. I mean, I know they're not your team, but I ask you. I've asked Bill before, but I don't know. I don't ever get a good answer. So let me ask you this. Why is it now they're sitting at 21 where they always pick? It feels like they always pick 21, 19, 20, over and over. Would the fans be okay with just bottoming out? Like I watched the Bears do it. They just went to hell and they ended up in, for number 1 pick overall, whatever. Like, is it something that just can't happen in the city? They just won't, it'll be
the fans will be fine with it. It's the organization.
Okay.
It's Art Rooney, the owner. He refuses to do. I mean, the thing is look at the teams that are there. All those teams can finish there every year, right?
Yeah.
And they normally do. Those are the teams that finish here. The teams that get to 9 or 10 wins every year are right there, right? You can throw other teams with, a set of injuries, they can be there as well. But the Chargers look the same way right now with Herbert.
it just doesn't stop though with the Steelers. Like it's just every year is the exact same year over and over. They just keep like I don't even know what they do. To me, they need a quarterback. So I don't even know who the quarterback is. Right? I mean, it's Will Howard, I guess, right now.
It's Will Howard and his backup Mason Rudolph, or the other way around. I mean, from what I've heard, we've had Ray Otto from the Post Gazette on several times, half dozen times, and Howard's too inconsistent right now, and he doesn't have a deep arm. He sounds to me like a Mac Jones type, 25 and in, 30 and in, rely on what's above your neck, rely on your brain, rely on your reads, and just matriculate yourself down the field. The Steelers are an organization that now back-to-back years has been given an F by the players. That's the players. Mm-hmm. That's your commodity, right? That's your stocks, and they've given you an F. They have they're trying to do this draft here, but it's not going to work because it's so many different aspects of it. It's not going to work. It's not going to show off the city like they want to. I mean, it's nice to have something like that, but they don't have the city to host it. Especially if you get a lot of people, and it's going to be tough for them. They're going to end up spending more money than it's just overall. They're not a very good organization at this point in time. They're just not. They don't have a vision. They don't know what they are. They brought in an older coach in McCarthy, which I think is great for their offense. But the decisions they made, they could have had a Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator. They could have had a McDermott as their defense coordinator. Right. They could have had Schwartz. They could have had anything they want. Yet they went with everybody who either took a piss in Pittsburgh or took a piss with McCarthy. Literally. Some of these people are not even secondary, not even tertiary. I mean, they're so far removed from either Pittsburgh or the Green Bay Packers or McCarthy or Dallas.
Right.
I don't think the coaching was. I don't think they built that correctly because you got rid of Tomlin. Tomlin was a control freak. Everybody knew it.
Right.
He had to be the smartest man in the room. It had to be all Tomlin. They finally got free of that albatross around their neck, and now all they did was build a terrible roster of coaches. I mean, not terrible, but I mean, they could have done lots of. You could have gotten all these all-stars.
Well, I think we said it on this show, or maybe I know.
Yeah, we did.
He opened up. It was like opening up. The Bills kind of did it with McDermott being gone. It's like opening up a window and airing it out. It's fresh air. Yep. The Steelers didn't want to. They didn't open the window. Like they don't want they don't want it. But
it's the most bizarre thing in the world why they won't do
it. Because now, if I'm them, I would, and I know this would mean tank. This would be what it is. But I'd have Mason Rudolph be my starter. If Will Howard's not the guy, go find a backup and just bring him in who could sit. I don't even know who or care. But that would be my guy. It would just be Rudolph this year. I wouldn't even waste my time with Rodgers at this point.
Right.
But
I totally agree with you. I don't understand why they're doing it. The problem is, from what I literally just heard this from the pool reporters as I was covering the soccer match. We write with everybody from the media, Pittsburgh media. They said that Rodgers wants $30 million. They have $18 million, and they have a draft class of 12, so they're obligated to reserve. All those 12 spots have to have the cash to pay them. So they only have essentially $5 or $6 million left. So unless you start going into those contracts and pushing everything down, they call the Eagles brilliant because they just push money down the way, and maybe it's brilliant. They just get lucky on draft picks. But I know, Mike, don't listen, Mike. But I think, that the Steelers, they're just not a good organization. And at 21 right here, I'm taking whatever massive offensive tackle left. I'm taking maybe the guy from Clemson, Miller, maybe the kid from Alabama, Proctor. But I'm taking the biggest mamma jamma I can for my offensive line.
Yeah, I guess in the second round, I don't mind. I gotta say, I don't mind Ty Simpson. I don't mind him. I would take. If they can get him later, or they can even the second round, whatever. I would do it because I don't think he looks. I don't know, man. I've watched, I've seen him. We've watched him, but obviously then I listen to people that know more than me and everything else. I think there's something possibly there. Like I think maybe he could be decent. I mean, I just, or even better than decent. That ain't even the right thing. I just, the Steelers are the one thing, man, that I always, and I'm not down there. So like, I know when I talk to you guys, you get more of the information. I just, they're like, when I talk to guys here in Buffalo, in this area, no one understands them because you think of them as the same. You never want to think of them as not being the Steel Curtain, which is 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. But it's not even remote. It's not even close. I mean, they go look at the running game they're going to have. I mean, even that is just bizarre. When you have a strong running something, there's nothing. DK Metcalf, and I don't even know why he's there. But
Pittman, he's the same player. They're almost the exact same height, weight, and everything. He's the same sort of player. They don't have that shifty. That they don't have the Edelmans of the world. They don't have the Amendola of the world. They don't have that player. Randall Cobb. They don't have that guy that's going to go find that soft spot in the zone and be open all the time. That person doesn't. They can't anybody.
You can't go into the season with Aaron Rodgers again. They got to just let it go. They got to let that go and just say, no, we're not going to. You can't. You just can't. I'd rather than have said that we're going to take the guy Malik Willis. Rather have seen that than tell me you're going to go with to watch Rodgers again. I don't know how anyone buys a ticket to see it. I would be absolutely disgusted because it's not. I watched it on TV. He doesn't look anything, not even close to what he was.
And plus, you didn't do anything to the offensive line. You didn't upgrade him substantially. If you go into this draft and you are heavy on offensive line because it's pretty deep. And I say it doesn't matter who you bring because you're going to have they're going to have time to throw, but that has yet to be seen of what they can do. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the AFC North. We're now going to move to John's favorite division, the NFC.
Yeah.
Only 3 of them have number 1s this year because Green Bay traded. What did they get back from Dallas? A 2?
I think so. Yeah. 2, 5, 2 and 5, something like that.
Okay, so they still don't have a first round pick. But we look at there, and the first one to pop up on the draft board is at number 17 is the Detroit Lions. They need help on the offensive line, I think. I really do. You can add pieces on that defense. And like I said, Hutch is there, and Hutch could pretty much pick what all-star he wants in their 30s to be opposite him. And that person will sign. The kid that just left there had 11, right? Last year, he had 11 sacks, and he went and got paid. So Hutch is the motor, and you can go get an all-star. You can name your all-star, too. You can go get a Joey Bosa. You can go get, there's so many out there, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Clowning,
there's a bunch. I think they're okay there. If I'm them, I'm thinking O-line, but what do you think?
Yeah, because then they have the guys they've had guys that have left, right? You've
center retired.
Yeah, and then you had the other guy. What's his name? God, because they kept on. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but he left, and there was a connection. They thought the Bears were going to bring him in, but
right. Yeah,
but they've had. I can't remember the name. I should remember because he's good, or he was good. Yeah. I know he's aging, but no, it's offensive line for sure, completely and totally. Because they got everything else set. Yeah. They have everything else you could want. That's all they know.
They picked up another running back, so I agree. They're set. I mean, they have 2 good wideouts. They do. They might need some depth there, but they have the draft capital to do that in the second, third round. But I'm going again. I'm going. Whoever's because I get to pick. I'm at 17, right?
Yeah.
So I can pick whatever.
And I like that. I almost like that Montgomery's gone. More Jahmyr Gibbs, I guess. More of him finally, and just see him because he could run wild. I mean, they might be back. They might be really good this year.
I think so too. He's every bit as good as Bijan Robinson, who's featured predominantly in Atlanta's offense.
Right.
I mean,
agreed.
Atlanta uses their star running back better than Detroit does. They really do. And I thought since Ben Johnson left that they would feature more, but you're right, they didn't. So him running that wild there it'll be perfect for them.
But you need the lines though. You definitely it should be offensive guard, tackle, whatever they want. I assume I think it would be guard, but I don't know. But definitely.
Or maybe it's somebody opposite Penny Sewell because Penny Sewell is the best left tackle, but he plays right. So maybe they go out and get a stud left tackle. Maybe they number 1 left tackle on the board at 17. Which for them would be great. Yeah. All right. The next team we have up in that division is the mighty Vikings, who look. I don't know what you think. I think Kyler Murray is an upgrade. I think we talked about it on the show. If he fails this rehab, I think he's done in football. So I mean, they did lose. They don't know if the Domer's coming back, their safety, but they're getting back. They're healthy. Their line will be healthy. Offensive line will be healthier this year. Where do you think they go?
I was thinking defensive line. I was at the lines. I mean, again, I'm thinking line. I was thinking defensive side. Yeah. Linebacker. I mean, I'm hoping the Bears get a shot at CJ Allen, but maybe them. That's where I was headed for that. There, you know what? Again, he's got to be an upgrade over McCarthy. Has to be. If he's not, then you're right. I mean, it's over for him. Man, his career's done.
I mean, we can't feel sorry for him. He would have had made 290.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So I agree. If they can get him clicking, and I mean, they could
They're
always use line.
dangerous. They're a dangerous team. I thought they were going to win the division last year. I thought I kept saying if McCarthy was good, if he's as good as what they think he's going to, like coming right out of the gate, he's something that none of us seen.
No doubt.
I thought they
were going away. No doubt.
So they're trouble. They're going to be good again. I don't know. Kyler Murray should be able to. The only thing, I mean, his size, but you got O'Connell. So maybe they finally. It's been terrible in Arizona. I mean, obviously, there's been nothing there. All of it's a mess. So no, that was good for them. I thought the Vikings were smart. That was a smart thing to do.
I don't know if they're getting Harrison back, back in the backfield. Yeah. So maybe they go for the Toledo kid who's tall. You also have the kid from Oregon, Thieneman. Yeah, who's unbelievable.
He's good. Yeah. He's awesome. I think he's. You know what? If he's there, I think the Vikings should do that. I really do. That would be. Yeah, just do it because
one of them, kid from Oregon, 6 foot tall. The other guy's 6'2.5" out of Toledo, and he was in the same backfield as Quentin. What's his name from the Eagles?
Yeah, I'm going with either one. You know, that's a good point. Those guys would be something because I think the Vikings, they're so close. I guess my question is like, what do you do with McCarthy? I mean, what happens with him? I mean, I don't know if he's even.
Well, it cost the GM his job. O'Connell apparently didn't.
Oh, really? I didn't even know.
He did not want him. Now that you see that and you know that as the player, what do you do? I mean, what can you do to rehab your career? Because he might have the whole rah thing, but I mean, that was one of the. I heard this. I don't know. Last year, that was one of the reasons why Harbaugh wasn't higher on Washington when they wanted to get a coach, right? Because they were convinced he was going to take JJ in the draft when Washington took Daniels. So
I would be calling. I'd see if he wanted him, maybe to back up. I mean, you're not going to get much from McCarthy at this point, but I mean, why not though?
I mean, Trey Lance there, and if somehow Harbaugh can reinvent him, Mike McDaniel's out there as an OC. But I agree. I don't know what really. We all watch. You watch Big Ten religiously. Mm-hmm. I watched a ton of his games. I didn't see anything in that guy.
No, I didn't see anything.
It reminded me of a right-handed Tebow. Ran the ball. But I'm with you.
To me, I just thought he was a very good, very, very, very good college quarterback. He was perfect. He was perfect for Michigan, perfect for the time. I mean, he's a tough kid. We know that. He can, I think when the times are big, he's not afraid. I mean, he gets in there, but he
has an arm, but he's not. If you can't take the direction from O'Connell, I mean, there's something wrong, right? Because he just rehabbed a quarterback who was considered a bust 15 times over, and the guy just won the Super Bowl, right? Sam Darnold. So he knows what he's doing. I mean, they rehabbed Baker Mayfield. It's all in that same tree. Rehab Malik Willis, all in that same tree. Rehab Mac Jones, all in that same tree. These guys know whatever it is. They know what the hell they're doing at the quarterback position. They just know. They know that to build around the strength. It's an old Joe Gibbs-ism. Don't tell me what you can't do. You just tell me what you can do, and I'll work with that, right? And too often get these quarterbacks in there, and McCarthy was never a passer. He's a move the pocket kind of guy, shift this, shift that, a lot of zone read stuff, and they didn't really do that in Minnesota. He just realized that he didn't have a quarterback, and that's why they struggled. Because we all said it, all of us on the show were like, I can't believe they're giving that beautiful car to that rookie, right? Yeah. Ferrari's going to McCarthy for some reason. None of us could figure it out, which I couldn't figure it out either. All right, up next. We have the Bears. The Bears are 25. I really think this is the first chance to move A.J. Brown. And I think if I'm the Bears, if I'm him, I'm at least calling the Eagles. I am. Because you pair that with Luther Burden, Rome Odunze, your tight end, your quarterback, your running backs. I don't know, man. That is tough. I don't know what your thoughts are. It comes with a headache. He's more of a diva wide receiver than most, but man, if it's a 1-year thing and you're trying to win now, you have that first place schedule. I don't know, man. I'd be really tempted to do that.
That'll be interesting because I never even thought of that. And I'll say this: how many ever picks they have, and do they have 7? If they end up with only 6, how many do they have? If they have 7 picks, 5 of them better be defense, though. The defense is really, really, really bad last year. I mean, like it was, and they ended up, and think about all the guys they let go, right? Everyone's gone.
Yeah.
They let go everyone back there, which tells you all you need to know though about exactly how good that defense was.
That's correct.
So I mean,
I
that would
think that if you're able to, if it works out, right? I'm not giving them more. I'm not giving them more than the 25. Not at all. Period. They want.
No, me neither.
And I want one of their 5s, right?
Yeah. That would be a wild thing that I never even thought of. I mean, I get it. I could see why that would possibly, they could think that. And they do think, those guys think differently than I do, especially guys like Johnson, like that. They think differently because to me, my defense is so bad, and that they got to figure it out. They got to draft. They need a linebacker. They need a defensive lineman. They need another safety. Like they need a lot. And if they don't make that trade like that you brought up, I would guess that at that pick you're probably taking a defensive either the edge or right. It'd be an edge rusher or what's funny? I watched a lot of Ohio State, a lot, every minute, every second, and I'm going to say this: McDonald. I didn't really see him ever do anything for me. Like I never felt like a pop. Like I didn't see the pop. Like the thing, anything that tells me he should be a number 1. He should be a first-round pick. I know, but they know better than I do. But just watching games, and obviously I'm not watching only the defensive line. But it never was. I'd love someone to tell me a big play. I never really seen it.
Right.
So, but that's the guy I've seen linked with the Bears a lot.
I have seen that a lot, and I've also seen him linked with one of the safeties, either the Toledo kid or Theonem from Oregon, which they need because they let Brisker go. So I mean, those are need picks. But we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, the 25th pick and the 31st pick, that A.J. Brown might move because that's what the Eagles, they're trying to get a number 1. If they don't get a number 1, then I have no idea what they're doing with A.J. Brown. Somebody will have to package together a 2 and a 3 or something. I don't know. But I agree with you. The Bears defense, they let go linebackers, linemen, defensive backs, safeties. They knew they needed to upgrade. Right.
Well, yeah. What they brought Devin Bush in. They brought Jack Sanborn back, which I was kind of happy. He was decent. Yeah. They brought in Kobe Bryant for safety. Right. But every corner. I mean, there's a lot to do there, man. There's a lot. They need an edge rusher. They need either Austin Booker has to become. I mean, he looked good in the playoffs. He looked really good, but he's got to be able to do that consistently. So that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot defensively. Offensively, though, too. Offensive line's something to really – because with Ozzie Trapillo getting with that patella-ish injury, that he's gone. I mean, I don't know when he'll be back or if he'll ever be the same. So, again, you're looking for a tackle. They brought Braxton Jones back, but there's a reason why Braxton Jones was gone and the guy from the CFL took the job. So, it's – you know what I mean? I'm wondering there, too, what they do with it.
Also, I mean, there's a bunch of defensive backs. I mean, obviously, Mansour Lane's the best. And then you have the 2 Tennessee kids. Will they be there? Will a cornerback 3 be there? Because McCoy is, he's pretty highly ranked. And you have some edge left. You have always going to have the kid, I think, from Texas A&M that is intriguing, little raw. You have the kid from Clemson, TJ Parker. There's and who knows? Does Akeem Messidor fall? Does somebody fall in this? It's going to be like every other draft. They're going to have a run on a position. Everybody's going to freak out. And then everybody's going to go for said position. And I think it's going to be, people are going to reach, and now you're getting to where the Bears are. You're getting to the point now where people in the second round definitely want to trade in to the first round.
Right.
Because anywhere from 25 on, they're definitely going to want to do that because it gives them control of the player. Are any of these players worthy of that? I don't know. You say they know more than we do. But I think Chicago, they're in a pretty good position. 25, I like. I mean, they showed out last year, did very well, but they have to keep improving. I think he needs one more weapon. I think on offense, maybe.
Yeah, I think. I wonder about running back too at some point. What they're going to do with that position because, obviously it's just Swift. I mean, I like Monangai, but I don't. I think you'd want more than that. But I'll say this for the Bears: huge draft, huge draft, biggest draft in a long, long time because. If you don't get this right with that number 1, like you're saying, with a first place schedule, you don't want to go. You don't really want to take the step back.
No.
You don't really want to go 8-9, miss the play. You got to kind of keep that rolling, even if you only won 10 games. Hell, even if you won 9, as long as you make the playoffs, you got to get in.
They have 3 picks in the top 60. They have 2 number 2s. So this is their chance. This is their chance. They have to hit on all 3 of those. If you hit twice on those defenders in the second round, I think you can afford to take a luxury pick in the first round. But if you don't see that in your own draft board, then I'm with you. All those picks have to be defense.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because you need, that's the side of the ball that needs the most attention, right? And you'd be stupid not to do that, really, honestly. Because what are you gonna do? We'll go back to the final team in that division, the Packers. They don't choose until number 52.
Okay.
So the Packers lost a lot in free agency. You noticed it. We all noticed it.
Yeah.
They lost a lot. So they lost Rashawn Gary. They lost Quay Walker. The other one that was in the trade that went to Dallas, the lineman. So they lost a lot of people. I'm not sure how they're going to react. Is this and Jordan Love? The talent is there. That's undeniable. But the health is not.
Right.
It's every year there's an injury, right? And who do they have to back him up this year, right? I don't even know.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's how bad it is. I'd have to go as we're talking. I'll look at the roster, but
they're going to.
What do you think they do?
They're not going to have Parsons left for the first 4 weeks. I don't think I read somewhere that he's going to be out for a little bit. To start the season, they're going to be. It's going to be in tight. They're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in tough a little bit. Are you going to the lines again with the pair? Are you looking offensive line, probably defensive line, maybe? At that pick, number 52. The wide receiver again. Now, they lost Romeo Doubs, so they're going to think about that too. Their wide receivers are not. They can't stay healthy ever.
I agree.
So, they're kind of in a tough spot. They might be the worst team in the division right now.
I think so as well. I really do. I'm looking at their quarterback, Kyle McCord, maybe.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have a name backup. We have, we've got Daniel. Daniel chimed in. What's up? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Daniel. And then Tanner McKee is available from It's a Wrap Sports Network. That is, I think, our host that's doing that, because he knows that now they have the Red Rocket in Philadelphia, that maybe they can get a draft pick or 2 for Tanner McKee.
Right.
And it's interesting what Philadelphia does as far as their front office is promoting players. Tanner McKee was a good quarterback at Stanford. He was. Mm-hmm. He shows that he's probably able to play in the NFL. But man, they've hyped this kid to be something God only knows, right? Somebody needs a quarterback. But Mike's right, man. He's out there. Mr. Mike Lauro is right. He's out there. So maybe they'll get something for him. But you have Cousins out there, so you have lots of quarterbacks still out there as well. But I think the Packers. If I looked at that division, I would put Packers last, and then I think it could be a 3-way fight for one. Could be.
Yeah, for me, the Lions. I feel like they're going to be I think they're the number 1 team right now to me, and then I think the Bears and Packers are close. The Bears, then the Vikings, and Green Bay. If the Vikings, if Kyler Murray's good, they're going to be trouble. They're going to be tough.
I think it's cliche to say, but I think we need to wait to the draft for all 3 of these teams to see what they do, right? Because I think unfortunately Packers they're just not doing well. They lost too many. I don't know where their financial stuff is, but I'm with you. I think it's going to be a battle for number 1. I really do, between Chicago and Detroit. And if you're right, if Minnesota, if he unlocks the key to Kyler Murray, look out NFL, because that guy, he's an athlete. He throws on the run because he's a baseball player. He throws a beautiful ball. Right, his biggest hang up is his height. If that guy was 6'1", you're looking at perennial All-Star, perennial Pro Bowler. But I think Detroit, it depends on what Detroit does, because they reloaded a little bit on offense. They lost some on defense, lost Anzalone, lost a couple other folks. But I think it's a three-way, and we won't really know until we see what Kyler Murray looks like in the purple. But if he unlocks Kyler Murray somehow. If he's able to do the dream whisper stuff that he did with everybody else, I agree with you, man. It's going to be – but Chicago's got to step up and get that defense fixed.
They're a big unknown, the Bears. They once – I just think of the Bengals game. They had to come back to win. Flacco, I don't even put up 40 points on them. It was – there's so many games that the Bears So you don't. The only thing that makes you feel good about them, and for me, is the playoffs. They looked like they belonged. They didn't look out of place there.
Not at all.
But
They were in it to the
but
end.
the regular season, though, it could have gone the other way, and they could have had 6 wins easily.
Well, they benefited, no doubt, from the last place schedule. There's no doubt about that.
Just like the Patriots, yeah.
Right, exactly. And that's why those teams are hard to judge. I mean, I think Caleb can play. There's no doubt about that. He's a legitimate quarterback. But like you said, I mean, their defense was wretched. So do they make all the – I mean, 3 picks in the top 60 in defense in this draft, a heavy defensive draft, might turn the corner on them. I mean, think about it. With all the players coming out, 3 in the top 60 is you're sitting in the catbird seat. But if they do something stupid, and go for, somebody else. But I think it's a 3-way race just because if I see Kyler Murray and he looks good, that might be, Detroit, they need defensive help as well and offensive line help. So it's going to be that's why I give it a 3-way. If Minnesota figures out, I think Minnesota is the favorite to win it because I mean.
Let me ask you this, and this is just back to where I don't think he's told me who's your odds. Is it the Bengals in the AFC North for you?
I would say between the Bengals and the I was a believer in Buffalo forever, right? But then I saw their offseason, what they lost, and I saw what they added, which wasn't much. And then I looked at the Vegas odds, and I'm like, what in the heck are they seeing that we aren't seeing? How is it possible they're the favorite? I'm going to look at it again while we're talking. I mean, I think Cincinnati, if Cincinnati gets a stud lineman, they're going to be better as a team, because their youth from last year will come back. They added Jonathan Allen on the defensive line as a run stuffer, which I like. But it's 2 win. I think Cincinnati might be the class.
This division's a mess. The more I look at it, the reason I say it is because none of the players like their organization they play. None of them like the team. Like they all get Fs generally. The Bengals constantly are not looked upon great by their own players. The Steelers and Browns, same damn thing. And I don't know what the Ravens. This ain't a great division, man. This division's really gone. At one point, it was one of the best. It might be one of the weakest at this point.
Yeah, I agree. So overwhelmingly, the odds to win the AFC North is Baltimore, 52.4% of the votes.
Yeah, why? I don't know why.
They have it: Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns, which I couldn't argue with. I just don't. I can't argue with. I don't get Baltimore. I don't.
They got to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, can you imagine that? They have never gone to the Super Bowl. I think this is one of their weakest teams. Lamar hasn't brought them. I mean, so what are they? Where am I seeing that? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I see it more. I could see it with, and I don't think the Chargers are that good. But I'd rather be the Chargers than the Ravens right now. So
here's the latest odds, and this is about 2 weeks ago. The latest odds now are Buffalo and Baltimore are tied on DraftKings. Wow. Basically Baltimore's the favorite. DraftKings have them plus 500, and the Bills plus 500. FanDuel has them. The Ravens at plus 500. They have the Bills at -4 plus 490. BetMGM has the Ravens at plus 475, and they have the Bills at plus 450. I don't understand what we're looking at.
Not getting it. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I understand the AFC is kind of weird, but I think the Bills are probably still. I mean, I know maybe the uncertainty with the new head coach and all that stuff, but I don't see it. I'm trying to think of the team that should be there, and it isn't the Ravens. I don't know who it is in the AFC. I really don't. I don't even know if the Broncos, but maybe it is Denver. But
right?
I guess, yeah. But they don't really make me feel.
So
it's weird.
As confused as we are about the AFC. Let me read you the NFC. Again, This is 2 weeks ago. We're the 31st. This is 8 days ago. They have the Rams, Seahawks, Packers, Lions, Eagles, Niners, Bears. What in the world are they seeing in the Packers? Any idea?
No, none. I don't know. I mean, I get the Rams and Seahawks. Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah. Okay. After that, I don't know. So I don't know about San Francisco. Maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't.
So we were talking about, the odds in the AFC. We'll go back to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Denver has the 6th worst odds.
Hold on.
It's Denver. It's Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Texans, Jaguars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So they have Cincinnati out, Indianapolis out, Pittsburgh out, Tennessee out, Las Vegas out, Browns, Jets, Dolphins out. So their playoff teams are Jaguars, Texans, Broncos, Patriots, Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. I don't understand. Buffalo, yes, I agree with. Baltimore, I don't. I mean, Baltimore could make the playoffs, but I don't think they're favorite. Kansas City depends on the health of their quarterback.
Yeah.
Chargers, I think they can make the playoffs. He's a good enough coach. Patriots make the playoffs, good enough coach and team. Broncos, I think that he's proven.
Yeah.
Texans, I don't know what they're doing at quarterback, man.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I might put the Texans out and put the Bengals in. Right?
Could you imagine if they could get some? Oh my God, with that defense, there's no. What a waste! Yeah. What a waste!
The problem is he just turns the ball over too many freaking times.
Mm-hmm. I was ready to pull him. I thought in that one playoff game, they should have just took him out at halftime.
Just give him just take a series off and just have him look.
What is wrong with? I don't know what happened. I just don't understand what happened, man. I don't
know either. And they have I think there's too much uncertainty in Indianapolis and Indiana Jones. Cincinnati is right on the cusp. They have them as the 8th. I could see Cincinnati making the top 7. I could see that, but depends on what they do. How they boost the line. But other than that, I pretty much agree with the ones that are out. I mean, Tennessee, Raiders, Browns, Jets, Dolphins, Steelers. I don't think they're
right.
Colts, too much uncertainty. Bengals, too much uncertainty on the defense and offensive line. Jaguars, I mean, I think they can do it, but stranger things have happened. But who is supposed to be up there at number 1? You're right. Other than Buffalo, I mean,
I don't know.
Even Buffalo has. I mean, they went and got Chubb. They need safety help in the defensive backfield. They need an actual primetime, bona fide star and a wide receiver. But,
they're hoping DJ Moore, I guess, will be.
Yeah, I don't see that. And I heard him talking about talking on the radio that Joe Brady had him in Carolina, and he claimed this is what he claimed. He claimed the scheme that Johnson ran didn't lend to having DJ Moore get the ball. And I'm like, what? He says all of his routes were clean, he was open, but the scheme didn't allow for him to get more catches. I'm like, dude, the guy dropped the ball, right? I mean, he had a little bit of drops, and I didn't think he was that open. Do you?
No, I mean, look at some of the great catches he did make. He was not wide open. I mean, the one against the Packers, the biggest one of maybe the Bears in the last 10 years was that one beating the Packers and winning the division. He was blanketed. They were on time. It was a great catch.
Yeah.
He made great catches. He also quit running sometimes. I mean, it was just interesting. I mean, one thing he doesn't do is miss a game. He never misses a game. He's very tough. I'll give him his toughness, and I think what Bean should be saying is, this will be the best quarterback he's ever played with. So maybe that is what will be the key here, is that it's Allen. Yeah. And it's probably the best, it'll be the best team he's ever been on. So it'd be more of that. I think you get from DJ Moore, I'll tell you this is one of the best receivers they have because they have nothing else. I mean, I do like Shakir. I like him, but
he's a midget.
He's just that. And what they really need is Dalton Kincaid to finally play more than 8 games.
Or have Keon Coleman decide to play football because he was great at FSU. He was great.
Yeah,
I thought that kid was going to be a stud. He had the size, he dominated, and he just didn't do anything in the NFL at all.
Very immature, man. All the things. I mean, we have the one I have on the Build show that I do. Nick Zavato. He covers them for the Niagara Gazette. Yeah, and he was telling us. I mean, there's a maturity level thing. It's all that. It's just growing up. It's a whole thing about the missing practice, not showing, coming late and doing all that kind of stuff, and so maybe that gets fixed. I don't know. Can you? Probably. Maybe it pisses you off though because they're not. It's one thing when the guy's 21 years old working at the factory coming late, but he's 21 years old, million.
Yeah.
Come on,
getting multi-million to play a game, and he can't even do that right. Yeah, they figure him out too. They're going to be a little bit better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next week we might be 3. Next week is going to be the AFC South and the NFC South. So we're getting there, and then the week after that, it's pretty much getting to draft time, folks. But thanks again for watching. Thank you for the comments and lights out buttons and Mike.